Today's scripture reflection from Matthew, we are presented with stories of Jesus as the compassionate healer. Jesus heals not only Peter's mother-in-law of illness, but also those who are on the outside of the community, a leper and the slave of a centurion, among others. Jesus heals by both his touch and the authority of his word. Touching a leper was forbidden in Jesus' tradition. The custom was to stay many yards away. Lepers were considered stricken with their disease because of God's displeasure of them and or their family. Well, we see Jesus turning that image of God upside down and compassionately healing the leper by his blessing, bringing forth the leper to new life and well-being. Feminist theologian Elizabeth Johnson, in her book, Consider Jesus, states that we can give Jesus the title, the compassion of God, who is in the midst of our human suffering. God is not apart from us, judging us from afar as unworthy. And often it is the voices in our own head that needs healing and reframing. I mean, even modern psychology encourages us to be careful of the negative self-talk. God, on the other hand, loves us unconditionally and desires to be with us in our suffering and struggles. In the midst of suffering, if we ask for it and allow it, God's grace can bring healing. Our healing or that of a loved one may not come in ways we expect, but we are encouraged to trust that our prayers are heard. We are to trust that new life and life can come forth from the darkness and struggle and need for healing when we ask for help. I'm reminded of the story of St. Ignatius of Loyola's leg injury from a cannonball when he was a soldier in battle in his 20s. Ignatius' recuperation period required months of bed rest. In the waiting, he was given only spiritual books to read. One was the life of Christ and the other about the life of the saints. These stories affected his imagination and encouraged him to find God in seeing the world in which he lived in a new way through the eyes of faith. God made good of Ignatius' cannonball injury, and we still celebrate his life and spiritual wisdom today because of it. God can make good of all things. Today in the Roman Catholic tradition, we honor all saints canonized in addition to those ordinary saints who touched our lives in a positive way. Persons who gave in a way that encouraged us in greater faith, hope, and especially love. The Christian life, as theologian Marcus Borg puts it, is about participating in the salvation of God. How are we called to be persons of healing light for the world around us with the life that we have been given? We all have things that need healing inside and out. Can you invite Jesus into your healing? Can you trust that you're not alone in it? Can you trust God with the outcome, knowing that our compassionate God is with you, desiring to bring forth your well-being in hope?